Well, the Narnia that the Pevensies come back to in Prince Caspian is a very different one. It's much darker. The talking animals have been forced into hiding by the evil King Miraz, and it's up to the Pevensies to help Prince Caspian reclaim his throne and save the land.
Save the land, yeah. And yeah, Prince Caspian, he's new in the movie. It's Ben Barnes. How was it to have him new in the family of the film? And please tell me about the relationship between Susan and Prince Caspian.
Well, I think Ben had a big challenge coming into this film because we knew each other, you know, the four Pevensies, and we knew a lot of the crew. We had a lot of the same crew back with us, and so we felt quite at home in it. I mean, it was sort of bigger and better, and there was more to do, but at least we knew what we were kind of getting ourselves into. Whereas Ben turned up, didn't know any of us, didn't know anyone, and he really slotted in perfectly. I mean, he's such a nice guy. He's so funny, and I think you have to have a sense of humour on the Narnia set because you're always going to have the mickey taken out of you the whole time. You're going to be teased, and he just had the necessary sense of humour, really. It's interesting because although it's not in the book, we've added a little romance to the story between Susan and Caspian. We're lucky because we had Doug Gresham, who's C.S. Lewis's stepson, as one of our producers, and he makes sure that we stay true to the spirit of the book. I mean, the romance isn't... There aren't huge love scenes all over the place. But, I don't know, it just adds a sort of another element to the story, really.
Okay. How did Susan change? Did she change or not at all?
I think she's a bit more, she's a bit softer this time, a bit easier to sympathise with. I mean, she's still the voice of reason, she still thinks in terms of practicality and logic, but she's a lot more willing to believe in Narnia this time. She accepts it, she just doesn't want to be taken out of it. And I think part of her journey in Prince Caspian is about growing up. I think the fact that at the end of the story, Aslan tells Susan and Peter that they won't be coming back to Narnia is because they've learned all they can from Narnia. You know, they've grown up a huge amount, that she takes on kind of responsibility in this. She's more patient with her brother and his decision making. She sympathises with Caspian. She helps Lucy. She's braver. So I think by the end of this story, she's learned a huge amount.
You had a bit more action scenes or fighting scenes than in the first one. How was it? And was it hard?
It was. It was great. I love being part of the action scenes because they're such a spectacle, and you're working with so many people on putting something together that there are so many kind of epic, cool moments of. But it was hard. I mean, it was physically challenging because it was hot, and I was in a leather kind of bodice and chainmail and all sorts. But whenever you're hot, you just look over at a guy in a Minotaur suit, and you know that he's much hotter than you. But it was really, I really enjoyed being part of the action scenes. It was fun.
And in this film, there were even more creatures than in the first part. So there had to be more green screen scenes, I think.
It's interesting, actually. Yes. We on the first Narnia film, we had 2/3 in a studio and 1/3 on location. Mm-hmm. This time we had 2/3 on location and 1/3 in a studio. So more of the locations were actually real. We flew to a lot of very remote places. We were in New Zealand for 2 months, and then we were in Eastern Europe for 5 months. And we were often kind of getting... In New Zealand, we were helicoptering in and out of places. So there's a lot more kind of real stuff in terms of the backdrops. And although you have maybe the same or more CGI characters in this, there are also more humans. I mean, the fact that the villains are human this time rather than having the White Witch is scary, I think. I think it's scarier. But we also, I mean, we had more actors around. We had Peter Dinklage and Ben Barnes and Warwick Davies, and we had Sergio Castellitto, some wonderful European actors as well. I think because there are so many more characters, we have more creatures, but we also have more humans in this.
So for Susan and Peter, it's the last time in Narnia.
Yeah.
Are you sad about this fact, or do you think it's all right? I mean, time to move on.
Of course, it's been a big part of my life. I had my first audition for it when I was 13, and I'm 19 now. It's spanned a lot of my years, but at the same time, I think it sort of parallels the story in that I'm ready to move on and do other things, and I'm at university at the moment. I'd like to play different roles. On the one hand, it's very sad not to be part of The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, and on the other hand, creatively, it's nice not to have to go back and do the same part again.
Yeah. And so do you have new projects in films, or just studying?
I don't know what I'm doing film-wise next yet. I'm reading around and looking for the right thing. I've got 2 more years of studying English literature at Oxford. I'm doing a lot of student drama there, so this term I did a Wiedekind play, Spring Awakening. I did Macbeth. I did some Stoppard.
So it's more theatre in the moment, not film.
Well, student drama while I'm studying,
okay.
yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.